teaching everything to Ryan that he just did in the game, right? Everything, the sideline toe tapping and kicking the ball to himself. That's all teachable, right?
You know what? There are a few of those drills. No. No. Great job by the young man, but more importantly, great job by our football team, putting a lot of trust into him and executing our offensive line, protecting at the line of scrimmage to give us a chance to get those balls off, and quarterback delivering a great ball, giving us an opportunity. Sometimes you don't realize how important it is for all the other people to do their job in order for success to happen on the football field. So just want to say kudos to our football team.
Just how rare are some of those innate traits that he has to do all those things with the ball when it's in the air and some of that stuff?
It's rare that we had the opportunity to play Vanderbilt this week. So I'm going to need our guys to play in a way that is going to give us the opportunity to be successful this week against Vanderbilt, because they could care less about the performance against any other team. They're worried about this week and this team that they're going to play. So I need our guys to be worried about the team that we're about to compete against this upcoming week.
We saw the dueling eye blacks. It was kind of funny between Ryan and Jeremy. Is that two different personalities on the team, or are they kind of similar?
I mean, they're best of friends and competitors with one another, each other, and everything that they do. They have to recognize, what we have at stake in front of us against Vanderbilt. And when we go out there, they need to be competing against each other during this game to be at their best, because their best is going to be needed. Okay, just so we're clear, the performance that we had at other times, it was good at times, but it was extremely bad at times as well. So we got a lot of stuff that we got to clean up and make sure that we're making better for this team that we're going to be going on the road to face this week.
What are some of the things you want to see cleaned up from this Vanderbilt game?
There's no doubt about it. We got to do a good job of taking care of the football as a football team. Everyone has to do a great job making sure we're taking care of the football. We got to make sure we play error-free as far as just knowledge of what the playbook is supposed to be like and what we're supposed to do. Route depth and definition. All right, there's a lot of things that happen in that game that from the naked eye, and most of you won't recognize that those things occurred and we're not good and we're not successful. So I did see this, one fan tweet out, we're up 28 and Coach Shepherd's still on the sideline flipping out on the guys, and you dang on right, because there's an expectation that everything that we do on that football field is becoming of what we expect them to do on Saturdays.
There's programs, a quick recruiting question, there's programs out there that, look at receivers, they're taking, the guys that are 6'4", 6'3", bigger receivers. How important is size when you look at a receiver? Is it more like the intangibles, the shiftiness, the speed? Like, what do you look for?
I think the first thing you really want to look at is the character of the young man that you're going to really deal with. I think that's super important, because some of that character is going to go towards their ability to be able to learn, listen, pay attention to what you want from them. Young men who don't have great character, it's harder to get them to play early because they just are in their own mindset, and they are not coming with a mindset where, hey, I am here to learn. And guys who have that, they can learn early and play early, okay? Forget everything, not everything, but some of the things that you did in high school are not going to be viable for here in college. And I think it was Tomlin who said it, the things that you did before are not going to make you viable now. So we have to learn the things that are going to make us viable now. But certainly, I always look for guys who make people miss on film. Probably one of the hardest things to teach as a coach is making those guys miss once you have the ball in your hands. So in recruiting, those things are probably the two most important things when looking at receivers. Height, size. You look at over the course of my career, you got Roma Dunze, who's a 6'3" guy. You got Ryan Woods, 6'1" guy, and then you had Rondell Moore, who's a 5'9.5" guy. So to me, it's about, hey, can you learn? All right, how well do you learn? All right, can you make people miss? And those guys did that at a high level football league. You would actually be doing me a disservice by not talking to them. So, no, you say whatever during the game, after the game, before the game. If you want me to be quiet, Julio, you got it. You know, do whatever you want to, because I just respect what he's done and what he's meant to this program. I mean, it was amazing just to meet him the first time, because it's Julio Jones, man. Like, this dude, I used his film forever. There's a clip still to this day of him in the barber shop with Coach Saban, and they're talking about, hey, there were a number of kids that were getting recruited. I think Coach Saban said, I think we had 4 guys committed in the class, and you're going to be the 5th. And I was so nervous to talk to you about that, because, you know, I didn't know how you're going to feel about that. And then what did you say? And Julio said, I don't care how many guys you got in the class. I don't care how many, okay? When you come to Alabama, you're going to compete. You ain't got no choice but to compete. The guy in the chair says, you ain't got no choice but to compete. He said, yeah, you're going to have to compete. Guess what? Cream rise to the top. And when you talk about Julio Jones, yeah, that's the cream rising to the top. So I'm trying to get my guys to emulate the things that he did, not only at Alabama, but in the National Football League.
Last 2 for Coach.
Going back to that from a recruiting standpoint, I know I can't ask you about recruit, but I mean, when you've got that many former players, NFL guys coming back on your sidelines, you see recruits out here taking selfies with it. How valuable is that?
Super valuable. I mean, you got guys, current players, former players, that are just reiterating some of the same things that we're saying, you know, that the University of Alabama is special because it's the University of Alabama, and no other program is going to give you the opportunity to raise your brand and what you do than what the University of Alabama, but they're living proof of it. You know, sometimes you can tell young people something, all right, but until they can touch it, feel it, like sometimes they don't really know and understand how much of a difference the University of, hey, recruits, okay, I got all these, hey, it's different here at Alabama.
Kind of other side of the ball, Damani Jackson got a pick. How hard is it, for your guys? How much does it help your guys to go against him in practice, given, look at the corner he is?
First of all, he did a heck of a job. Damani is kind of a chill, he's a Cali guy, San Diego, he's kind of a chill guy, works his tail off, don't get me wrong, and plays his butt off, at practice and gets out there, but he got to chill. And it was just all of a sudden this beast came out of him on Saturday that I was super excited for him, and the way he was playing, the way he was competing, the way he was forcing the issue with the other football team across from us. So I was super happy for how he played the game more than anything related to my guys, and that's kind of how I am as a coach. I just support our guys and how they play the game. Man, Schmitty, love Schmitty, man. That kid gave his all on Saturday. Through pain, and these guys, and they compete every day in practice. So they're making us better, we're making them better. And that's why, recruits, you come to the University of Alabama, because you're going to compete against the best every day. How can you get better every day competing against somebody who you know is inferior to you? You're not going to give your best, you're not going to do your best, you're not going to be at your best, period. Okay? And when you get to that National Football League, they're going to expect you to be at your best. So recruits, come to Alabama to compete with the best.
Thanks, y'all.